How to think like Alfie Solomons. And here we are again with breaking down another character from the show of the Peaky fucking Blinders. And in this case, it is another one of my favourite characters from the show. None other than Mr. Alfie Solomons. Now, Alfie is definitely a fan favourite, and one of the biggest attributes that makes him that is his violent and unpredictable nature. But the thing is, I feel as though that this is already common knowledge, and I've already covered that type of strategy with the Joker breakdown. So in this video, what I'm going to be covering is something a lot more deeper when it comes to Alfie, that I feel a lot of people miss out on. From the strategies of how he forms alliances with people, to his philosophies and how he views the world. And I'm going to be diving deep into the two main ways in which you can learn how to think more like Alfie Solomons. And to do this, I'll be using Robert Greene's works of Power and War as reference, so you can implement into your life, into your business, and in yourself. So make sure you stick around to the end of this video, because after you're done watching, you'll not only be able to know how to properly form alliances with people, but what you also will be able to ensure that you don't get bent the fuck over in the process. Now, the first law that we're going to start off with to help us learn more how to think like Alfie comes down to the 20th law of power. Do not commit to anyone. It is the fool who always rushes to take sides. Do not commit to any side or cause but yourself. By maintaining your independence, you become the master of others, playing people against one another, making them pursue you. And this is the first strategy that Alfie uses in order to become such a powerful gangster. Now, Alfie Solomons is the leader of a Jewish gang in Camden Town of London. And in more or less every scene that we see him in, he is always in some form of negotiation. A negotiation, typically of some sort of alliance or business deal. We see this when we're first introduced to him in season 2, where Tommy decides he wants to claim a stake in London by initiating a war with the Italians. Now, even though Alfie is also at war with the Italians, it appears that he is the one on the losing side. And Tommy appeals to this interest by offering him help in this scene. But Alfie doesn't just jump into Tommy's lap and accept his deal. He knows that an alliance will do him well. But if he just came across as a desperate dog and jump into Tommy's lap straight away, then he might as well just bend over his desk and ask Tommy to fuck him, as he would be the one in Tommy's pocket, and from there, he would own him. This is why he beats around the bush and asserts his presence over Thomas first, to establish that even though they may go into business together, that doesn't mean he owns him. That Alfie still has his inner independence. This is extremely important, as when someone feels like they own you, you immediately lose power over them. Alfie dangles this idea of striking a deal with him as being ungraspable, making it seem that Tommy is the one asking for help, rather than the other way round. Even though the alliance is in both of their interest, Alfie ensures that he will still hold on to his inner independence. He all of a sudden becomes an object of desire. By luring the Peaky Blinders into doing business with him, this is what causes Sabini to wanting to do business with Alfie also. Alfie was smack bang in the middle between the pair. And while everyone else was just squabbling with each other, the only thing that Alfie was concerned about was doing business. He never became emotionally entangled with anyone, and he used everyone as just chess pawns in his rise to the top of the game. And this is the point I will make to you. When you rush to the support of others, you tend to gain very little respect from people in the process, for your help is easily obtained. Whereas, if you take a step back and not rush to take any sides, you all of a sudden become surrounded by people who want to work for you. And exactly like Alfie, you can play this position of yours off other people. An example of this can be when it comes to signing clients or applying for a job. If you're surrounded by people begging to work with you, then you become an object of much more power and desire. You can then use that position to get what you want, i.e. a promotion at work, or command a higher fee for your services. The artist Pablo Picasso did this with his artwork by never committing to one dealer. This led Picasso's work to be much more highly desired and started a bidding war between many art dealers fighting over him, causing the price of his work to skyrocket. Even though it seems that Thomas was the one that gained the most in season 2, it appears that the second man that gained the most was Alfie. Now, of course, you do need to be very careful with this, as if you take it too far, this strategy will turn against you, as people will start to see what you are doing and conspire with each other to take you down. Even though the law states, do not commit to anyone, what I really feel it means is to never rush to commit to anyone, but ensure you maintain your inner independence once you do commit. Because in reality, forming alliances and working with people are inevitable. You don't want to come across as someone who is incapable of commitment, but take your time to think about who you are going to work with, as once you form an alliance, their problems typically become your problems. It may seem heartless, but in the end, by maintaining your independence and self-reliance, you will gain much more respect and place you in a much more stronger position of power. Now, we've just clarified that Alfie doesn't rush to get into alliances with people, but when he actually does, he always makes sure that there is something in it for him. If he can't use them to gain something of value in return, then there's no need for an alliance. Which leads us to the next strategy that Alfie uses to become such a powerful gangster, which is the 27th strategy of war. Seem to work for the interests of others while furthering your own. The best way to advance your cause with the minimum of effort and bloodshed is to create a constantly shifting network of alliances, getting others to compensate for your deficiencies, do your dirty work, fight your wars, and spend energy pulling you forward. The art is in choosing those allies who fit into the needs of the moment and fill the gaps in your power. Give them gifts, offer them friendship, help them in time of need, all to blind them to reality and put them under subtle obligation to you. At the same time, you must work to sow dissension in the alliances of others, weakening your enemies by isolating them. While forming convenient coalitions, keep yourself free of negative entanglements. This is why, even though he took his time in doing so, he allied with Thomas in season 2. As number 1, it would help him in his war against Sabini. Number 2, the Peaky Blinder men will be doing a lot of the dirty work themselves. And number 3, it helped compensate Alfie in an area that he was deficient in. But this was only up until Sabini offered him to take control of the racetracks again, which is what caused Alfie to take up that offer and go against Tommy. But when Sabini didn't deliver on what was agreed, Alfie went back into an alliance with Thomas, where he inevitably ended up getting a lot richer from. Now I get it, this does seem like some snaky shit from Alfie, but hear me out. In order to survive in this world, you need to use people to serve your own purpose, in order to obtain the things that you cannot get on your own. But throughout society, we've been brainwashed as people to think the idea of using people is unethical. But when you put your emotion aside and analyze it through a clear lens, it is simply just being strategic. This is what makes Alfie and Tommy's relationship very strange to us at first. But as we move throughout the show, we start to understand the nature of it. Their relationship was never based on any emotional entanglements. It was simply based on mutual interest. They only work together because they both can gain something out of it. That is why, even after Tommy supposedly killing Alfie for taking sides against him with Luca Changretta in season 4, the pair are still able to do a nice bit of business with each other in season 5, and it seems like they're just old friends. But the thing is, most of the relationships and alliances people build with each other are based on emotion. They mistake business relationships as personal relationships. Now I know you may be thinking that I'm telling you to not be loyal or to not love anyone or to fuck people over and to have no emotional feelings for anyone whatsoever. But what I'm saying is, these type of emotions are what your personal life is for. Your personal life is what is there to serve your emotional needs. Whereas when it comes to business relationships, there is no room for emotional attachments. Good strategic thinkers form alliances based on mutual interests. Now that's not to say that you can't get on with each other in the process, but the outcome of the relationship is not to be best friends. It's simply to use each other to get to the next destination, exactly like a stepping stone. This is what good leaders understand, and there's no need to ever feel guilty about it. This is where the phrase of "it's simply business" stems from. This is clearly demonstrated when Alfie goes absolutely haywire at Thomas for accusing him of crossing the line in season 3, where Tommy is threatening to kill him. His response to this is that Tommy's anger is completely unjustified. Alfie's message is that there is no room for emotion in business, and if Tommy is going to kill him, it should be done from a rational standpoint, not from the emotional standpoint that he's coming from. In Alfie's opinion, that is the way the world works. The fact that people in business use each other all the time to further their own interests. But the fact that Tommy is taking that Alfie used him emotionally is naive and ignorant, as he has done the exact same thing to loads of other people. Hence, what line has Alfie supposedly crossed? This is what snaps Tommy back into a place of rational thinking, to where Alfie lives to see another day. The point is that you shouldn't take it personally when someone wants to use you. As long as you both gain something out of it, then you both have the right to use each other, and to understand that that person can drop you out whenever. To an emotional person, this may just be seen as wrong or unethical. But this just clearly illustrates the point of alliances that are infected with emotion are nothing but trouble. And when someone does appeal to your emotions when striking a deal, then this is a red flag. But by being strategic with who you deal with, however, and dealing only in terms of mutual interest, will not only further your own cause, but it will also keep you away from the bad entanglements that are undoing of so many people. Exactly like how we stated in the first law. And that's how to think like Alfie Solomons. By using the law of ensuring inner independence is established when carefully committing to someone, and the strategy of only building alliances from a place of mutual interest and not emotion. And that is what is going to allow you to think more like Alfie Solomons, and allow you to exert way more power and strength in your life and in the world of business. So if you like this video, make sure you smash that like button and leave a comment below on what your thoughts and feelings are about Alfie Solomons, and let me know what Peaky Blinders character, or any character for that matter, that you would like to see next. And if you are new to the channel, welcome to the channel, and to all our loyal subscribers, we are glad you are here. We do some of the best character breakdowns on the whole of YouTube, and we aim to produce at least one high quality animated video per week. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any golden knowledge. I'll see you soon.